Okay, welcome back. So, as I said that in this part of the video, we are going to look at some of the countries which have the highest GDP in the world. So uh, let's quickly get to that, and let's have a look at those countries which have the highest GDP in the world. Just a second. So this proves that the countries which are the strongest countries in the world are strong and rich because they have very high GDP. And why are they rich? Why do they have high GDP? The reason lies in the fact that they have the biggest and the strongest business organizations which are the best managed. Let's look at a list of the organizations and let's see which countries these big organizations belong to. To which country do most of these rich organizations belong? Let's have a look. So this is what we saw, that the uh, output of a country determines how rich it is and how well managed that country's resources are. Because the more organizations you have, it simply proves one thing: the better you are at managing your own resources. Every country has land, every country has human capital, every country has resources. Some of the most wealthy countries in the world do not have a lot of resources. England does not have a lot of resources, but you saw where it stands. It's among the top economies of the world, top GDP. They are just very well managed at whatever resources they have. They are very good at managing those. And that means that their per capita GDP means look at the number of people standing here, the GDP that one person should get, not necessarily that he is getting, but should get, is the highest for. Let's look at the country which has the highest per capita GDP in the world. The highest per capita GDP in the world, the race has been won by Qatar. Qatar has per capita GDP, which means one household or one earning person, let's put it that way, in 1 year earns 128,647 United States dollars. That is way more than one person earns in the United States, which has the highest GDP in the world. So if you when you divide your earning by the number of people, so how many? What is the per capita GDP of Pakistan? It is $1,193 per year. Compare it with Qatar. Qatar is 128,000. Pakistan is 1,193. So uh, we when we look at the situation in the world, the situation before COVID was one of the reasons for poverty was maldistribution. I use the word maldistribution rather than an equitable distribution of income, because the distribution of income and the distribution of wealth in the world is so unjust that it's best to call it maldistribution. So this distribution in before COVID-19 looked like this. If we were to mm, divide the wealth of 38 richest people in the world among all human beings, that would have ensured that 3 billion human beings would never go hungry in this world. They have so much wealth. 38 people in the world had so much wealth before COVID-19. That was 2019. In 2021, the situation got worse. These wealthy people simply became more and more rich as a result of COVID-19. All right. And there is a small video on this, which I'm going to share with you now. Let's have a look.
Super rich keep getting richer. That's part of the findings from a new report on inequality. According to Oxfam, the world's 10 richest people now own around $1.5 trillion. The pandemic has been a billionaire bonanza because the 10 richest men have doubled their income in the last 2 years. So that accumulation at the top is in contrast with the majority, the 99% of humanity, being worse off as a result of the pandemic. The charity says the world's 10 richest people have boosted their fortunes by $15,000 a second or $1.3 billion a day during the pandemic. At the same time, global inequality is contributing to the death of one person every 4 seconds. Oxfam says more than 160 million people have been plunged into poverty since the start of the pandemic. To counter this growing inequality, the charity is urging governments to impose a temporary wealth tax of up to 99% to fund vaccines for the poor, universal health care, and social protections.
So this situation is really alarming, that people have actually reaped a bonanza because of the pandemic. We will continue this discussion in the next video, because this video is not in one part, it is in more than one parts. But yes, I will before I close, I am going to stress that Pakistan too has its share of very rich people, and we are going to see in the next video how many people in Pakistan are rich. Of course, they are nothing compared to the rich outside, but we are going to look at some of the richest people and then some of the poorest people. Okay, thank you.